Welcome. welcome. My voice is messed up today. Hey. How fun is that? Otaku Girl, hello. Otaku Girl, if you could follow me on Twitch, that would be awesome. I'm going live on Twitch, but I'm also going live on Unlocked for a little while, so I can get you guys used to it. But I want to get everybody over to Twitch. So there you go. Okay, you're already over there. Okay, rock and roll. So, as you can tell, my voice is a little wonky today, but my hair is fantastic. Just to say, boom. I got it high and tight, y'all. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I can run faster. Another kink in the works today is the fact that I had my front tooth, which many of you know is fake right now. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? I'm extraordinary. A little funky on the voice, which is interesting because I have a voiceover session directly after this. I've got to haul balls. But anyway, so that's why I have coffee. Sweet elixir of life. Red Nova Tyrant, how are you this morning? Excelente. Oh, while I'm here, let me do something real quick. I want to see if I can make my announcement yet. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. So, here we go. I'm clicking on that one. Let's click on the guests, and let's see if my pretty picture is there. Because if my pretty picture is there, I get to tell y'all something really cool. You'll be the first to know. They've added some new people. Okay, that's not me. That's her. Okay, that's not me. That's not me. What? Come on, guys. Add my happy butt. All right, well, anyway. I can't say anything yet. Sorry, guys. Hey, Red Nova Tyrant, is my video frozen there as well? Because it's frozen on my end. I just can't tell with Twitch because people are telling me, no, I can see it fine. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, So it's really weird. Let's see here. Yes, I do have good taste. Have you seen my wife? Let's see. Zoe, what's up? Hams Ronan, good evening your time. It was lagging for a bit, but now it's running pretty fine. I'm still... All right. Well, we'll figure it out. No problem, man. Hey, you guys do what you got to do, people. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I forgot to... So my tooth is fake. So, as y'all can all see. So, that's called a flipper. I've been working with this in for 6 months. And the cool story is I had this one, it's a long story. It involves rum, dancing, and a bar stool. So, I've lived a life, babies. Anyway, I had a fake tooth for many, many years. I didn't realize that it was drilled into the root of the tooth. Well, that root decided to say, see ya. And my tooth just fell out one day. And I was like, oh boy. So I went to the dentist. He's like, yeah, we've got to pull it. I'm like, I thought it was pulled a long time ago, but apparently it wasn't. So they pulled it, and they pulled it. Hey, time to change. All right. So they pulled it. And then once they pull that, you can't do anything for like 4 months, 4 or 5 months. And then they have to come in, and then they pull it, and they put up all this fake bone or whatever. And then they've got to come in and drill up into that, which is now part of your freaking skull. And then they drill in the anchor, what's called, and that has to set for another 4 months. So I just had that done on Friday. So it's still a little messed up here. So it's not painful to have this flipper in right now. It was the other day. So I've been like 5 days, looking like an Appalachian banjo player. And now it's okay. But hey there, juicy poops. I have a feeling I might be banning you. But it's, yes, it's the hair is where it started, but it's more of an attitude. It's a lot of fun. People ask me, is that your given name? I go, yes, it was given to me by a bartender in 1987. Cool. So anyway, so that's where I am. So that's why I'm kind of sounding a little funky. I might be a little off. I have another full piece that I could use, but sadly I can't use that right now because that does freaking hurt. So, why would you do that? Kind of rude. I have a funny feeling that I'm getting trolled, guys. Let's see what we can do here. I'll watch you, though. I mean, you're more than welcome to hang out, brother. No problem. Or sister, whatever it is. And I'm glad you're regular. But either way. Any new anime projects this year? Nothing I can speak on because, we're under NDAs. And I know nothing about anything, really. I mean, I'm the last person to find out, guys. I was the last person to find out that I was getting replaced as, Shinji for the Netflix thing. And I didn't even find out. I found it through the grapevine, so they weren't going to let us audition. So anyway, they weren't going to tell us at all. Demon Slayer, no. What show? Who's Shinji? Oh my God. People on here, educate Ams Ronan, please. Who Shinji is. I appreciate that. I'm just messing with you, Ams Ronan, but I want to see what they do. So, on top of the tooth problem, who'd give me the mod privileges whenever you want to do that. Red Nova, you got it. I have no idea how to do that. If it's something I can just say, hey, bing, you're a mod. Then bing, you're a mod. But I have no idea how to do that. Sorry, man. Or one. I don't know who you are. So anyway, so I had the... Anyway, Shinji is in Evangelion. Evangelion is a huge show that I was the lead role on for 25 years through a no Juicy Poops, you cannot be a mod. And it was a 26-episode series in the 90s. Then it was 3 other movies, and this was all back in the 90s, 2000s. I'm sure I'll walk you through later. Cool. And then there are the 3 rebuilds. This is the interesting part. So I did the 3 rebuilds, and the 3rd one came out like 4 years ago. And they've been waiting for the 4th one forever. Well, that's coming out in June, so the dub will come after that. I have no idea if they're going to have me as the dub. I have no idea. No idea at all. So, okay, good night, Ronan. Have a good one. Great talking with you. By the way, are you close friends with Vic? No, I am not. I know who he is, and I have met him several times. We've never hung out together, really. We've smoked some cigars at some cons. That's about it. Got a voice additional cast on Shenmue 3. Why, yes, I am Juicy Boobs. I did several roles on Shenmue. But anyway, so that's what happened there. And I'm sick. That's why my voice is so low and cracky. Because I've had this freaking flu that has been going around. Some of you guys have had it since December. It's been a month. It's been over a month. So it hit me hard right before my freaking birthday. We went to Catalina and then got through that, and it was fine. And I felt pretty good, but you had that dry cough for a little while. And then it just came back with a vengeance one day, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to... And I went to sleep. And that was it. And I've been coughing ever since, and now it's just all... Ugh. No, I live in Los Angeles. I dub anime into English. So, anywho, that's where we are. And welcome to all of you guys here. Gotta go to a voice session of this. Yes. No, sadly, these are pickups for a show I did last week. So, hopefully, I'll be able to make it work. Broken Brad. Hello, Broken Brad. Good to see you. So, for all of you that are on here, on Unlocked, I would love it if you would go over to Twitch and follow my Twitch stream. It's Spike Spencer Speaks. That would be very, very happy. You know the guy who voiced the answer on Super Monkey Ball? No idea. I don't even know if that's a thing. It sounds like an anime thing, right? So, if you could please go over to twitch.tv/Spike Spencer Speaks, because whenever my phone goes out, I'm going to be live over here on Twitch until 10. So there you go. Oh, it is a game. Cool. Now, I don't know. I might know. Who is the guy who voiced the announcer on Super Monkey Ball? You tell me. You guys know way more than me. When I go to a convention to sign autographs and stuff and people ask me questions, I'm like, I don't know. Did I? Was I on that? They know better than I do because we do a lot of work. Like right now I'm doing Nino Kuni, Zozo Zombie, and Boruto, and one other. I don't know if I can say anything about it yet. Brian Matt. I don't know Brian. Excuse me. All right. There we go. So anyway, for those of you that don't know how this works, I chat with you guys for about 15 minutes. Then I start my podcast. The rebuild, and I know little to nothing about it, except the hype. Well, it's not Evangelion. It's Evangelion. It's one word. And yeah, there's a lot of hype. I mean, it's a great show. It's incredibly popular in Japan. They have like Evangelion World. They have a Evangelion versus Godzilla thing working, I think. And they had a bullet train that was done up in all Evangelion colors. It was really crazy. So again, for those of you that don't know, so I'm doing my podcast from 9:15 to 9:45, and that way I will not be answering any questions or chatting with you guys. I just have to focus on my podcast because I pull the audio from that, and that is going to be my podcast called the Mind Scrambler Podcast. And it is designed, everything I do is going to be designed, I am focusing on you guys. I'm focusing on the animation and gaming industry because that's you my peeps. You know, this is what I do, but I'm also a personal growth coach, transformational coach, and relationships, communication, and connection. And a quick bio, I wrote the book Food Game, A Man's Ultimate Recipe for Dating Success. And I also wrote What Happens at the Con Stays at the Con, stories from the silly, saucy, seamy underbelly of anime conventions and more. Volume 2 is now available on Amazon, and you can also purchase it from me, a signed copy. But I have to give you that link. You have to go to my website for that, I think, or check out my page. It was one of your favorites, one of the best first division. Oh, awesome. Yeah. End of Ava. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. You know, it's funny because I know so many people that, I mean, it was 25 years ago. So I was 25, roughly, then, when we did it. So I've been, dubbing an effeminate little girly boy who saves the world in a biomechanical freaking robot for 25 years. And, I might have one more run at it. But I still do, 12, 13-year-old voices every now and then. It's kind of funky, but books in audio format, actually, yes, they all are. I think if you buy the book, you can get a free audio. Broken Brad, you can get a free audio over at Amazon if you buy the book. It's on the first cover or something like that, I believe. I don't remember if that's set up or not, but give it a shot. And tell all your friends, of course. So, yeah, that's where we are. And so today, a little bit further. So as far as the coaching goes, I'm an NLP certified coach. I'm a bank certified personality sales trainer. And I'm trained with Brendan Bouchard, some Tony Robbins people, etc. My wife, my amazing, stupendous, amazing, super spectacular, sparkly badass wife, is in Florida right now. And this week she is going to be working with Tony Robbins. So very cool. Tenor, hard to hire voices. You know what? I don't know. I don't sing at all. So, my voice is higher than this. But because of, last night, I'm just like, the cool thing is I could sound like this and say, today on an extra special Mind Scrambler podcast. So that's cool. Hey, Yumi, how are you? Yumi, since I don't know if you've been there for a while, I'd love to have you go over to Twitch and follow me there at Spike Spencer Speaks, because this phone will probably die soon. And I'm going to broadcast for about 45 minutes. And there you go. So I'm getting ready to get started right now on my podcast. I'm going to wait. My baby is right there. I'm going to wait until he gets changed. I can hear him. Yes, I can do some good. I've done radio announcing before. Okay, Yumi, no worries. But yeah, eventually I'm not going to be doing it over here anymore. I may do like the first 15 minutes and then just shut it off and then go over to Twitch. I've got to get the word out. We got to get people over here. And you know what? I'm building it one person at a time. I'm in no rush. I'm going to do it organically. I'm going to do it correctly. I want to build this community. I want you to tell your friends about the information that I'm giving you. I'm giving you coaching that people will pay tens of thousands of dollars for. I mean, Kim is doing quite well right now. She's coaching 7-figure earners, and she's really good. So any of you guys want to check her out, go to crownyourself.com. That's crown, like a crown, crownyourself.com. And she has a lot of free stuff over there as well that can really help you out on the personal growth path. Here we go. We are done. We are ready to go for my podcast, and it is happening now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mind Scrambler podcast. I am Spike Spencer, and today we have some fun stuff to talk about. As you can tell, my voice is a little wonky. I've been going through that cold that's been going all over the freaking world, and I've had it for over a month in various degrees, and might be a little bit weird sounding as well because I had some work done on my tooth. So my front tooth is out, but I have a flipper in, and I've had the flipper in for a while, so I've been pretty good with it, but it's a little swollen, so I might, slur some of my S's, something like that. You never know. Today, I'm going to talk about, and I might have some coughs and whatnot, but you know what? I'm not editing it out because, this is a conversation between you and me. I don't care if I'm professional or not. The information I give is great, and you know what? You know me. You know who I am. If you're listening by now, you know who I am. If you're new, hey, welcome, enjoy. We have a lot of fun here. You can tell by my titles. So today, the title is Hindsight is not 2020. Hindsight is kind of a dick. Now, what does that mean? Well, think about it this way. Hindsight is what you have in the future. So let's say you did something 5 years ago, and you still replay it in your head, and you're still beating yourself up about it. Well, A, that sucks, but B, you're looking at it from a completely different viewpoint. Now, I discussed viewpoints in one of my earlier podcasts, but this one's a little different because hindsight is this weird thing that we have that we don't realize we're doing to ourselves. And it's funny because I was thinking about this last night. I was like, what else can I say about hindsight? Well, one thing is it's a saying. Hindsight is 2020. You know what they say. Hindsight is 2020. What do they say? One, who are they? And are they paying your rent? Are they raising your child? Are they paying you any money of any kind? No. They is a false, I don't even know what you call it. It's completely false. They don't exist. They is this weird collective hive mind thing that we put in ourselves, and we say, well, they say. Well, who's they? Knock it off. They, as far as I'm concerned, can, pardon my Swahili, fuck off, because they don't matter. Stop listening to what they say. When you hear somebody say, well, I heard, then just stop listening right there. Because I heard means they have no idea what they're talking about. And that's something you have to get into your brain because that causes hindsight as well. And I'm going to break it down for you in a second here. Let me get a little coffee. Oh. So let's look at it this way. Do you know that the brain cannot tell the difference between something real and something vividly imagined? Let me say that again. Your brain cannot tell the difference between something real and something vividly imagined. That is why visualization is so important. So visualization is, let's say you have a goal and you want to go somewhere, you want to do something. When you visualize in your head that thing that you want, it is incredibly powerful, especially if it's a very, very good visualization. You can look forward at it and go, wow, I really, really want that, and that will raise the emotions inside of you, which in turn raises the vibration, raises the frequency, yada, yada, yada. It sounds woo-woo, but it's actually science, but it's actually true. And it's actually true. I got to watch my butts. It is actually true, and what that does is it helps your reticular activating system to go forward and find that thing that you want. Prime example. I'm living in a house in Burbank right now, and as you can see, this little tiny booth that I have is quite ghetto. It's not, top of the line, and that's fine. This is a temporary booth. Actually working on, we've got the garage, we're running the line to the garage, I'm going to have my studio set up in there, and it's not going to be anything great, but it's going to be at least a studio. And I'll be able to, it'll look better in the background. And that's fine, doesn't matter. The information I'm telling you is fine. Now, I can visualize. I know where I'm going to be living in Santa Barbara. I already know. And I visualize me driving up in my Cadillac Escalade, my kids getting out, my wife getting out, we go inside, and this is our house. I can tell you every room in that house. I can walk you through that house in my head. I know exactly where it is. I know the address. The people living there don't know they're leaving. That's okay. They are going to leave for something far better than that. The view is of Santa Barbara. It's completely beautiful. I can go to the backyard. I can point to roughly where our office building is, which is going to be our international hub for coaching and speaking and trainings and things of that nature. I can already point to where that's going to be. I can point to roughly where my boat is going to be. It's a 42-foot boat in the Santa Barbara Harbor. And I know these so well that I can feel it. I feel it. It is happening. That's it. I know that. And if you have something like that in your head moving forward, then you know what I'm talking about. It is a visualization. Now, what we do in hindsight, let me bring it back. With hindsight, we do exactly the same thing with our past. We replay things over and over in our heads. And as we replay them over and over in our heads, our memory shifts and changes. That's why most of the things that are memorized or remembered are false. So many things that we remember are completely false. And you can go back and find that out. I mean, there are books written about this, why our justice system is very iffy when somebody says, well, yes, I remember that was that person. Like, that person was actually in another state at the time. No, but it was him. I swear it was him. No, you saw him on the news and put him in your brain, and it click, 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 and there you go. Over and over and over again, this happens. So we do the same thing with our life. So hindsight makes us look back and we see things that weren't there, which causes us to put more pressure on ourselves and beat ourselves up more about whatever we might deem a failure or a mistake in the past. So the interesting part about that, when you think about it, you go back and you look at something and you've got to tell yourself, wow, I don't know if that's actually true. You have to really think about it, because when you go back, hindsight gives you, this is why hindsight is a dick, by the way, because with hindsight, you're far ahead of what this thing happened. I can tell you things that happened to me 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I can remember them vividly, but only snippets of it. Remember, you can't remember the entire thing. You're like, I remember this thing, and it's almost like there you can see yourself, and everything else is kind of foggy around, and people go, well, I was there. I remember this, and I remember this, and I remember this, and I remember this. It's completely different. It's like looking at one of those pictures where you're standing here, and it's a picture, and you move over to the right a little bit, and suddenly it's a completely different picture. Well, it's the same picture. It's one picture, but it's completely different views, depending on how you're looking at it. That's how everything is, especially our past. So, with hindsight, we look back at a false image, and that false image is causing you pain. Well, it's a dick, obviously. And why is it causing you pain? Well, because it's phony, and you've been building it up over years and years and years. And some people do this every day. I had a divorce. I'll tell you right now, I had a divorce, bankruptcy, lost absolutely everything, had to start over. It was my worst fear, completely realized and imagined. And I moved out to LA, and for a year, maybe 2 years, it was nonstop pain. And I was reliving it over and over again, every aspect of it, because the divorce went on for a while. We had property and house and all this and yada yada. And I just walked away. It's like, take whatever. I don't give a crap. Just leave me alone. I want to forget I ever knew you. And it just went on and on and on. So it was a battle daily for a couple of years. And it just kept bringing up the past. Well, did this happen? Did this happen? Did this happen? And in divorces, people say, oh, well, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. And somebody's going to lie. I did not. I swear to God, I did not lie. I had no reason to lie, but she did. Wow. So it's like one of those things where you go, okay, well, what was real? What was truthful? What was the actual thing that happened? When your emotions are tainting something in the past, then it's going to color it a different way for you, depending on how you feel now and how you felt then. So I'm going to give you a way to fix this. Are you ready? All right. So first of all, hindsight, being dick, is that you are beating yourself up over something you did, and you are looking at it now from a completely different standpoint with new techniques, new tools, new feelings, a new life. Your past is your past. Your past is gone. It's gone. It doesn't actually exist anymore, if you think about it that way. So if you're looking back at something that does not even exist anymore, but remember, in order to get off your own back, remember this statement. Whatever you did in your past, you did with all the tools, techniques, and life experience that you had at that time, to the best of your ability at that time. So let's say now you learned the lesson from that particular situation, and you're like, I'm not doing that again. Well, of course you're not doing that again, because you're working from a new set of trainings and tools and life experience. Back then, you did the best that you could with what you had at that time. Therefore, forgive yourself. Get off your own back about that, okay? I mean, if you didn't do to the best of your ability, well, that's fine. That's a possibility. That's a gauging that you have to work on. And then you have to forgive yourself then, too. You say, well, if I didn't do it 100%, you were still doing it with the best of your ability with what you had at the time and at that moment and in the emotional state where you were as well. Do not discount that. So if you're feeling crazy rage and you act badly, or you had too many drinks, or you were in a very, very insecure space at that time, you're going to react differently than you would now if you're comfortable and confident and surrounded by people that love you. So you have to remember that hindsight is a dick. It's giving you this information from way in the past with new information. So it's not fair. Very dickish. And I'm going to give you something else here. What this causes when you look back and say, well, I should have. No, you shouldn't have. I should have done this. I should have done that. No, you shouldn't have or should have. You wish you would have, maybe. You could say, well, it would have been better if I did this or that. Maybe, but at the time you did not know that. Again, you were working with with everything you had at your disposal at that time. You are no longer at that time. One day later, totally different. It's a totally different world one day later. Now, if you're 20 years past, man, you got to understand you could have to forgive yourself and look at it from that standpoint that, you know what? Yeah, I did the best with what I had at that time. Because if you start doing this should thing We call it shoulding all over yourself. Because you say, well, I should be here, I should be there, I should be this, I should be that. You're not. You're not. If you're saying I should be anything, you're not that thing. So you are what you are and where you are at this moment in time. If you want to change that, that is totally up to you, and you can start right now. And if you're saying I should have, then what you're telling yourself is I need to do something different so that I can have that. And that's what hindsight brings up. You should have this, you should have that, you should all over yourself. Stop shoulding all over yourself. You can't do that. There's nothing back there. Nothing. As a matter of fact, everything that I've said in this podcast so far, already gone, already in the past. You can replay it, and then it'll be back in the present. But the live version, in the past. So there you go, guys. This is why hindsight is not 20/20. It's actually far less than that. It's much worse. See, I had, all through my life, I had really, really good eyesight. So I had 20/20. Actually, I had 20/15, which was even better. I had really, really good eyesight until about 10 years ago. It started to mess up a little bit. So I started to not see things as well. So things started to get a little blurry. Now, I can't drive at night without glasses because I can see everything. It's kind of blurry. I can know if a car is over there, et cetera, et cetera. But if I try to read a street sign, can't do it. Even during the day, I have to ride with my glasses on because my eyesight has gotten worse. Well, think about your eyesight from where you are looking back a year ago, a month ago. You don't have glasses made well enough to see back then unless you have it on video. Here's a cool trick if you want to put this into actual practice. We all have so much video now. Think about the longest video, the longest time frame for video. Maybe you have a video back on VHS, that has been transferred onto digital. If you do, have fun with it. Think about a situation, whatever's on this video that you're thinking of. Pick anything you want and say, okay, I remember this moment, and write it down a little bit. Say, okay, I remember this moment, and I know there were 4 other people in this room. Here's what I know happened about this certain particular thing. I had a cake. It was a birthday, let's say. I had a cake. It was round. It said this. It had this many candles. 1, 2, 3, 4 people were there, and these are the gifts that I got. That's it. And then you call up those people and say, hey, I just want to run something by you. I'm trying a memory thing. Remember that? Remember my birthday? Oh, yeah, great. Can you tell me a little bit about it? What was the cake? The cake was square, and it was chocolate. No, it was round, and it was vanilla with cherry frosting. No, it was round, a square with chocolate. And there were 6 other people there. No, there were 4. See, what's happening here? People are going to say different things. So talk to everybody that you think was there. And then talk to everybody that they think was there. And watch the video. Just try it. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, I have no idea. I didn't even know. That's going to be a wild thing. If you do that, especially if any of you guys are having issues with the past, if you can do that, your subconscious mind will get the message. It will say, oh my gosh, I'm beating myself up about something that I don't even know is actually true. And I'm going to hold my hand up here. I am a master at that. I am a master at beating myself up about things that have happened in the past. My wife is the same way. We're really good at that. And it's destructive. It's not good in any way, shape, or form for anybody. Especially you. It messes with your mind. It takes away your self-confidence. It keeps you insecure. It lowers your self-esteem because you're thinking about something that happened in the past. If you could just go, you know what? Screw the past. I'm here. Tell hindsight to take a walk, baby. Go pound sand. Tell your story walking, pal. Because it doesn't matter. It is a false identity. It is a false story that you've been telling yourself all this time. You deserve better than that. You deserve to not be shoulding all over yourself. Understand you are exactly where you are right now. You're exactly where you are for whatever reason that is, and you are actually 100% in charge of who you are, what you do, every decision you make. If somebody makes a decision for you, you are 100% in charge of how you react to it. Somebody does something. Somebody cuts you off. Somebody sues you. Somebody does whatever. You react. And the way you react is very, very powerful, because the way you're going to react right now is probably colored by these past incidents that you are giving false reality to. If you can center yourself and know that you're confident, secure, and you make good decisions, then you will make good decisions. And remember, if you make a decision and it doesn't work out, you can always make another one. That's fine. You can always pivot if you need to. But you have to make a decision. That's a whole other podcast. I mean, like 5 different things in this podcast so far make whole other podcasts. So we'll talk about those later. But the point is, if you are making your decisions based on some things that hindsight is telling you, which most of us are, by the way, then you have to tell a new story. You have to say, you know what? Whatever happened, happened. It is out of my purview. It matters nothing to me now. Here's what I'm focusing on right now. Now is what you can focus on, because now is the only thing that's happening right now. The future isn't even here. The past doesn't exist. Nothing matters except right now. And there was a great example of this in The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. If you haven't read that or seen the movie, it's actually a movie with Nick Nolte. They're walking across a bridge, and Nick Nolte's trying to tell this guy. He's like, I don't know if he was even real. I don't know. But he's like the teacher telling him about being present in the now, wherever you are, whatever is going on, to be there and focus. And he said, I don't understand. And so Nick Nolte picked the guy up and threw him over the bridge into the water. And he said, you focused on now? Because, yeah, you are focused on now. You can have your mind swirling in 9,000 different directions, but suddenly something happens and you are focused. If you're at night and you're in bed and you're awake, you're insomniac. I don't know what that's like. But if you wake up, I am not an insomniac. I sleep wonderfully well. There, I just told my subconscious to stop that crap. I sleep through the night wonderfully well. But if you're awake at night and you're thinking, that's when your brain just goes, it goes nuts. Well, it can be going completely nuts, and then you hear a, you are completely present. You hear something at night, and you're like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? What the hell was that? You give it about 10 seconds, and you wait. If you don't hear anything, you go, okay, it's just the house settling. There you go. So, but you test that theory. Nothing will get you present like something in the now, like a loud noise, a quiet noise at night, sirens, a big, whatever it is. It could be anything. My baby cries, I am right there. What's up? What's up? What's going on? How are you? Are you okay? That's something you need to remember, because when we think of, in hindsight, we think of, I should have this or I should have that. You're not present. You are not present. You are using past information to propel you forward, which it cannot do. See, there's another precept Einstein said. A problem can never be solved in the same place with the same tools, or I don't know the exact quote. A problem can never be solved in the same area as where it was begun. I don't know. I'm mangling it, but a problem cannot be solved from within the problem. The answer to every problem is within the problem, but it cannot be solved from the same thinking that got you in that problem. You have to get away from it. This is why when you have a problem, some kind of challenge, something that's going on, and you're focusing on that problem, you're focusing on that problem, you're focusing on that problem, we're just going to get more of that problem. You focus on the solution. So let's say you have no money. You go, oh my gosh, I have no money. Your reticular activating system is going to show you nothing but evidence of that. And you're telling your subconscious mind to give me more. If you have no money, you focus on, okay, who's got my money? How am I getting money? I want money. I love money. There's money. There's money everywhere. Money is coming to me. Money is flowing to me in avalanches of abundance. Money is coming my way. Money is on its way. I am the type of person that pulls in money. That sort of thing. That's the answer. Not, I have no money. What am I going to do? If you say, I have no money, your subconscious mind says, okay. You go, I have tons of money. Okay. Now, the weird thing about that is when you say, like, I have tons of money and you don't in your bank account, well, this is part of the hardest work that you have to do because you have to raise your vibration, you have to raise your frequency, you have to raise all that stuff to attract money from being down low, which is hindsight. Then you are in a bad spot. You are in the problem and you cannot fix the problem from within the problem. You have to get out of the problem. So stop thinking with hindsight. Like right now, no money in your bank. Well, you know what? That's in the past. Money could come from anywhere right now. I could win the freaking lottery. I could go next door. I could mow their lawn. It doesn't matter. Whatever, there's a way you can get that. Stop looking at hindsight. Look forward. Because hindsight's a dick. Remember that. Learn it, feel it, love it, own it. All right. I think it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one today, but I think I got my point across fairly well to everybody with my voice being all hacky and cracky and fun and my tooth being a little bit wonky. So, thank you so much for joining the Mind Scrambler podcast. If you know of anybody that needs this information that would benefit, please share this on all your socials. Let people know that I'm here. I'm on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. and on Sunday nights, 7 to 8 right now. I do what's called Food for Thought. Sometimes I cook. Sometimes we hang out. It's real laid back. But the podcast is Tuesday and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'd love to see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Go do something awesome. See you next time. All right, guys. That was my podcast. What you think, y'all? You got questions for me? So, that was my thing for today. Hindsight's a dick. Oh, my goodness. Well, if nobody has any questions for me right now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the restroom, and I'll be right back. So, you got 1 minute to come up with some questions so we can discuss. Otherwise, I'm going to cut it off early today. Let's not do that. Let's talk, y'all. All right, ready? And go. Okay, here we go. All right, I hope there are questions for me. Yes, there are no questions on Unlocked. What happened with you peoples, huh? You need to talk to me, huh? I, Red Nova Tyrant, yes, you will talk to me, good. Let's see, a good lesson, not beating yourself up over stuff you didn't have the knowledge to act differently towards then. That's correct. That is correct. You can't beat yourself up over something that you did correctly at the time, or at least with the best of your ability. You know, you just can't. And that's something that people deal with daily. You know, Kim sees it, I see it, and people I coach, I'm like, you're on your own back, you know? Climb down off your own back. I mean, think about it this way. We are harder on ourselves than anybody else. There was I forgot where it was, but there was a study run where kids were able to pick their own punishment for something. If they felt they had failed or they'd done something wrong, you go, if you did this, here's a list of punishments. What do you think would, do? And most of the kids picked a punishment far more severe than they would have gotten in the real world, because they're like, they're just harder on themselves. People are hard on themselves. So I'm giving you permission to stop doing that, guys. You got to stop. It's a hard thing to deal with. And, you're better than that, and you deserve everything. You deserve everything. If you we zoom out, or in NLP they call chunking up. If you really get up high, and in business they'll say, well, give me the 40,000 foot view. So what that means is you see a problem, you pull way out, and you're like, if you're looking at yourself, you're in a situation. Let's say you're being mugged, which we reject. But let's say somebody's being mugged, and you're right there. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a gun. This is a life and death situation. Well, 20 feet above that, not really. It's not a life and death situation. You're kind of looking down on it, it's like going, well, that's happening. Then you zoom out even further, and it's like you don't even see those people. It's like there's all kinds of things going on. There's a car wreck over there, and there's this. You zoom out even further, it's like, wow, there's all these buildings. You zoom out even further, it's like, wow, there's a whole country. And you zoom out further, it's like there's a little bitty ball. It's called Earth. So when you really, really zoom out on something, it affects your brain too. So wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life, zoom out of it. Look down. When you're in it, you're emotionally tied to it, and it's really difficult to deal with. Well, what you're doing when you're dealing with hindsight, I should have said this in there. What you're doing when you're dealing with hindsight is you're reliving the situation with false evidence, with false memories. So it makes it even worse. So you're probably beating yourself up even harder over something that wasn't that big to deal with in the first place. How about that? So that's an interesting way to look at it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys today because that came to me, and I know it's valuable because I know these things that I'm teaching you guys, we see this. Kim sees this. And our mentors, our trainers, they see it. And it happens daily. And people need to know these tools and tricks and ideas. Because when you look at it from a right perspective, it's okay. It's just what is. Reality is only what is. Reality is not what will be or what was. It's only what is. And reality can change at any second. Believe me. I know. You guys all know. Somebody passes away. Reality just changed immensely. And it changes in a second. Well, most of your decisions actually happen in a second. The crank up to that decision can take years. But once you make that decision, it is done. For example, I quit smoking when I was out of college. I'd smoked for a few years. And I just, quitting smoking is hard. It's like, it wasn't for me. I quit smoking in one day. Because my then girlfriend, I hate it when you smoke. I don't want to be around you if you smoke. I said, well, I really love her. So, done. I just threw them away. I said, I do not smoke. That's it. I am not a smoker. You are not what you do. You are an amazing being of light, energy. We're all energy, et cetera, et cetera. And you got to get from a standpoint of, I'm here in this life and it sucks and blah, 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 to going, wow, the chances of me even being born, I think Gary Vee says, is like 4 trillion to 1. It's like, it's insane that you are here. So why are you here? There's a reason. There's something powerful. Oh, baby's getting changed again. He's a super pooper. All right. Question. On to Ava by the themes it presented about taking care of yourself and such, or was it a pleasant kind of surprise since you only received each episode one at a time? It was the second. It was a job. Was I drawn to Ava by the themes? They were there. It was interesting. We got to really kind of feel it, but we didn't know what was going on each time. And when we neared the end, I was like, I really don't know what's going on anymore. So it was interesting. It was fun to deal with, and it's like it was. It's the crazy themes. You just don't know. It is a very interesting show, and I was proud and privileged to be able to be in it. We had no idea it was going to be big. No clue. It wasn't big then. It was nothing. It was just a little, here's another little anime. And it has. It has changed my life in many ways. It allowed me to travel the world on the basis of that. That is my most famous role. I've got lots of others, tons of others, but that is the most famous one. So that has been, that opened the door for me to appear at conventions and things. So that was really cool. And so I've got, looks like I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 or more this year. And I'm working on that, where I would like to do one a month at least. this year. That would be helpful. So anyway, guys, I'm going to have to cut this one short today, a little 10 minutes short, because my voice is messed up and I got to rest it so I can go do these pickups. You guys have a fantastic day, everybody. I appreciate you all coming in over here on Unlocked. Remember, go to Spike Spencer Speaks over on Twitch, please. That ending was quite mind-scrambling. Hey, there you go. And Red Nova Tyrant, if you want to talk about being a mod, I don't really know how to do that. And I know Glenn can walk me through it, but if you want to walk me through it, if you know how to do it, hit me up on my site, Spike Spencer FG, on my fan page, or you can shoot me an email and we can talk it there. It's info@spikespencer.com. Very simple. Anybody can send me an email there. That's fine. All right, guys. Adios, muchachos. Have a great day. Boom. And you guys here on Twitch, take care. Bye-bye.